T-Bird fans, we welcome you to a brand new edition of T-Bird Talk. I'm Cloud County Community College Sports Information Director, Toby Nosker. This week on T-Bird Talk, an opportunity to visit with two members of the Cloud County Community College women's basketball team, as we will sit down with sophomore Kiley Smich and freshman DaNae Crosby. Despite 6 players finishing with 8 points or more, the Cloud County Community College women's basketball team fell to Kiley College 80-62 Wednesday night in Kansas Jayhawk Community College conference play. The Tigers scored the first 6 points of the game and raced out to an early 14-point lead in the opening quarter before maintaining a double-digit advantage throughout the remainder of the contest. Cloud County shot 28 of 72 from the floor and 2 of 16 from three-point range, including 0 of 6 from behind the arc in the first half. The T-Birds were also just 4 of 9 from the foul line for the night. Freshman guard Lauren Marone tallied 13 points on 6 of 11 shooting in a season-high 29 minutes of play to lead Cloud County. Marone scored all of her points in the second half, netting 6 points in the third quarter and 7 points in the fourth. Freshman guard DaNae Crosby was also in double figures with 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals. Freshman posts Talasia Thomas and Shea Wirtz helped out with 9 points each. Wirtz also led the team on the boards with 7 rebounds. Sophomore guards Tiana Davis and Kiley Smich chipped in 8 points each. Smich also added 5 rebounds. After falling behind by 20 points at 43-23 at the halftime break, Cloud County outscored Kiley by 2 points in the third quarter and played them even in the final frame. The Tigers shot 50% from the field in the first half with 7 made three-pointers in the first 20 minutes of action to pull away for their early lead. Cloud County has dropped to 16-11 overall and 11-11 in conference action. The T-Birds will return to Concordia on Saturday, March 1st to take on Butler Community College for Sophomore Day at 2 p.m. Butler is 21-6 on the season and 16-6 in Kansas Jayhawk Community College conference play, following a 67-48 home win over Garden City on Wednesday. The Grizzlies have won 6 of their last 7 games and defeated Cloud County 62-57 in El Dorado on January 15th. Now, coverage of this Saturday's game will be available on the T-Bird Sports Network at cloudtbirds.com. Fans can also listen to the game on 1390 KNCK and 98.3 FM, with Austin McNorton calling the action. Up next, we'll sit down with 2 members of the Cloud County Community College women's basketball team, Kiley Smich and DaNae Crosby. This is T-Bird Talk.
Are you a Kansas or Nebraska high school senior who's thinking about your next steps after high school? If so, you qualify for Cloud County Community College's $500 Early Bird Scholarship. All you have to do is visit campus before December 13th and have a GPA of 3.0 or higher, and you get a $500 scholarship guaranteed. So come visit Cloud and see why our students are Cloud proud. On your visit, you'll see our campus, meet with an academic advisor, and get a chance to have all your questions answered. Set up your campus visit today by giving us a call at 800-729-5101 extension 212 or visiting us online at cloud.edu/admissions.
This week on T-Bird Talk, an opportunity to visit with 2 members of the Cloud County Community College women's basketball team. Joining us, we have a sophomore, Kiley Smich, as well as freshman, DaNae Crosby. And I want to thank you both for taking time to come on and to visit with us as the season's starting to wind down. Sophomore Day coming up on Saturday, March 1st, when the T-Birds will be taking on Butler Community College. Now, Kiley, let me begin with you. And of course, you are a sophomore, but this is your first year at Cloud after transferring from here. And I want to talk, after transferring to here, I should say. And I want to talk about that move for you. But first, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Orlando, Florida, and then I moved to the Denver area right before high school. So I've been in Colorado for the past 5-ish years, I'd say.
And you grew up playing basketball?
Oh yeah, I would say my passion really grew in middle school. I remember there were outdoor courts, and I would bring my own ball to school and just always be hooping with all these random people outside right before school. And I don't know, I just grew a love for it.
Did you do other sports?
I tried volleyball and like soccer. I did cheerleading, I think, for like 3 years when I was younger, then gymnastics, but I would say basketball really like caught my eye more than all of them.
And why so? What is it about the game of basketball that you enjoy, that you love so much?
I like how competitive you can be in it, and like how like aggressive and how creative as well. Like it's not just, you're not just doing one thing. You're not just like sprinting or like, I don't know, like you could just really do a lot with it.
You said you really started to foster that love around like the middle school age. At what point did you start to give consideration to, hey, maybe post high school, this is something I can do at the next level? How did discussions about, potentially moving on and playing at college begin?
I honestly never had a set plan, or like, I feel like a lot of people had like a dream school to want to go to, and I never had a dream college. I never had, I don't know, like I need to go here. Like I just knew I liked basketball a lot, and if it could help with my college, I might as well continue doing it. And, I just kind of started posting some highlights on Twitter and had some colleges reach out to me, and Cloud was one of them. And that's how I actually got in contact with here. But I just, never had a really set plan, but I just love the sport. But
as I said, you didn't come here initially.
Yeah.
You went to Western Nebraska, right?
I did, but they reached out to me like after high school, and I went on a visit here right after high school, actually, and I visited Western Nebraska too, and I like the idea of Western Nebraska being closer to home. And, we did pretty good. Like, we were, I think, ranked at some point at Western Nebraska. But, I think, like, the coach was leaving at some point, so, and I always had Cloud in mind. Like, I really did enjoy the visit here, so I kind of reached back out to coach and was like, hey, I want to change it up. Like, can you take me back? And, he said he was okay with it.
And I want to talk about that in a little bit more detail in a moment, but what was the overall recruiting process like, and was it challenging for you to kind of navigate, visiting these different schools, figuring out what was going to be the best fit for you?
Honestly, yeah, because my parents never really played sports like that, especially not in college. So it was kind of up to me, and figuring out where you're going to spend like the next at least year of your life is kind of scary, especially like you're basically still like a child and you're still trying to navigate that. I will say like just kind of exploring all options. Like I visited all the schools like I was really like thinking about going to. They were all community colleges, or I think there was like 2 NAIAs, but really just, it was scary, but also whatever was like financially best is kind of what I went for.
Was it just as scary to make a move after the first year too and decide to transfer?
Honestly, no. I feel like after you get through that first year, I was kind of okay with anything, because the town in Nebraska was pretty small, and like it felt kind of like distant from everything, and I was already used to it at that point, so I wasn't honestly as scared. I was more prepared, I'd say, to move.
D, like Kiley, you come from out of state. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Little Elm, Texas, but I was originally from Kansas City, Missouri. I have a majority of my family lives in Kansas City, actually.
Okay. And so tell me a little bit about basketball for you. When did it enter your picture as far as life? And tell me about your love for the game of basketball.
Basketball came in my life in about 2nd grade. My PE teacher somehow had a little outside of school team, and I was interested in it. I picked up a flyer and I brought it to my dad, and I told him this is what I wanted to do, and it just kind of grew from there, really.
Did you do other sports growing up?
I did track in middle school, and then once I got to high school, I didn't really continue with track.
What was it about basketball that stuck, though? Why did it feel like the right sport for you?
I like the competitiveness, but also the team. I've gained a lot of friendships from playing basketball, and I think that's really was one of the reasons it kept me in there the most.
At what point for you did it kind of click that, hey, this might be something I can do at the next level?
I would say middle school. I started playing AAU around that time as well, and I was playing for ex-NBA player, and we were able to move up and play in big tournaments, and it really got me out there. And so I was like, this could be something I could definitely take further, and it could pay for my school.
So what was the recruiting process for you like coming out of high school?
Coming out of high school, I wasn't really recruited until after my junior season, because after my junior season during AAU, I was injured, and so I didn't play my senior year. And so a lot of my interest in recruitment came from just the AAU right before my injury. And so it was kind of up and down, but I had visits that I could have took, but I ended up only taking the Cloud visit and committing right there.
How difficult was that setback going through that injury your senior year, being sidelined, not out there doing what you love?
It was a mental game. It was really up and down, but I still showed up every day for practice and did what I could to get better and get ready for college.
How did the initial conversation with Cloud County begin? I'm sure you weren't familiar at all with Cloud County Community College or Concordia, Kansas.
No, actually, I wasn't familiar with Kansas in general. When I was up here, it was mainly for the Kansas City area. But when it came to Cloud, they hit me up, and it wasn't really them being bothered by the fact that I'm coming off an injury or not wanting to recruit me because of my injury. They seen the potential I had, and that's really what drove me coming here.
And you said it was the only visit you made?
Yes.
So tell me about the visit and the conversations with Coach Erkenbrack, Coach Doris, and ultimately, why did you decide, okay, I don't need to see anywhere else. This is what I'm going to, decide to do.
I realized really when I was riding back with my parents, we were on the way to eat with, I had decided to ride back with my parents instead of riding with the coaches to one of our restaurants out here. And I talked to my parents, and I really had told them this is where I want to be. We had our conversation in the car, and I was like, because at that time I was supposed to go take another visit, but at that point, after the conversation we had, and it was really like a lot of encouragement, like this was a family and that it would have been a whole new team, and I was able to get myself back to 100% still coming here and being able to have another year after this.
So, Kiley, you had made a visit as well. What was the visit like during your time coming out here to Cloud? Was there anything that stood out to you about, the campus, the coaches, the town, anything like that?
Honestly, with the town, I felt like it was more like community-like. Especially like, when I was at Nebraska, like I felt like everything was kind of like distant as much, like there wasn't as much connection with the town. But going into like the restaurants here, everyone's just like really nice and open. And on the visit, what honestly mainly stood out to me was how much like time and effort he put into like setting up. Like he set up the cubbies for us with the jerseys, and he let us take a whole photo shoot like with and like all the jerseys on. And no other visit I went on did that. Like it felt like more like special and personal, and like deliberate in the way he set it up. So that's why I really enjoyed coming out here.
Tell me about the decision to transfer then to come here to Cloud, and why you felt like this would be a good fit for you for your sophomore year.
Yeah, it was a hard decision. I didn't really have exactly an amazing time at my first year. Not to go into crazy detail, but there was kind of a Title IX situation that I had to deal with, and it really set me back mentally. And I honestly wanted a restart. And also, I forgot to mention, but I also have a passion for track as well, and I'm going to be doing track after season, and my last school didn't have track. And I was just kind of like, I can go start somewhere new. I already visited the place, and it's kind of, I don't know. I already had a connection with the coach, and I really didn't visit anywhere or talk to any coaches after, like, my decision to leave Western Nebraska. I just kind of committed here right away.
For you, Dee, what was kind of your impressions of Concordia? I mean, kind of my own ignorance. You know, I don't know much about Little Elm, Texas, right? How big's Little Elm?
Right now, its population is probably 63K.
So when it's got little in the title,
Yeah.
it doesn't represent when you come to Concordia and see how little Concordia actually is, right?
Absolutely. And Concordia is such a small knit town. I've never been truly to a town that's so tight. And it's like you know everybody. Anywhere you go, somebody's going to notice you. Even when I had a job recently, I still had people coming into work and were like, oh, my God, like, oh, you play on the girls' team? And I'm like, yeah, that's me. So it was very important to have that small community as well. I think it's good. I think it's a very good thing.
And what about the college as a whole? Because you're not just here playing basketball, right? Although it's probably the main driving force for why you're here. But you have to be a student athlete, and a student part is a huge part of that as well. What has that transition been like for you from an educational standpoint, not just an athletic standpoint, but educationally, coming to college for the first time, being on your own, taking the classes here? Kind of take me through the college experience so far.
Honestly, in the beginning, I didn't think I would be prepared. Even talking to my parents before I left, nobody really thought I'd be prepared because I'm more of a staying to myself type of person. I don't really do a lot of talking. But once I came here, it felt like another home. Like, my teammates made it feel at home, but as soon as I got into the classroom, it was like the professors aren't too harsh. Some may be, but when it comes to education, I think it was an easy transition for me.
Are you glad you started at a smaller school?
Yes. I think it's way easier to learn when you're in a smaller classroom. You're able to ask questions and get to know your professor more on a personal level, I'd say, instead of being in a class with 50 kids and y'all having to just learn from the same person and not be able to have this small knit time with them.
And do you feel like the people here have been overall pretty supportive, that they're looking out for you, that they want to see you succeed?
Absolutely. I actually have one of my professors actually comes to the game, and sometimes we'll actually end up talking about it. So it's very special, I'd say, to get that.
What is it that you're studying? What are you majoring in?
It's actually undecided right now. Yeah, it's a bit undecided.
Kiley, for you, what is it that you're studying?
I'm kind of, it's like I'm getting my associates in science, but I think my degree's in like health and human performance. Yeah, I think eventually I want to become a physical therapist. I'm on that route. If not that, definitely like somewhere in the fitness realm, either a personal trainer, which you don't really need like a degree for, but it can help. But just somewhere in that realm.
How supportive have you found the people here? And you talked about the community, how tight it is, but the community at large and the college, how supportive have people been of you in this transition?
Honestly, very supportive. Like what Dee was saying, like all the teachers, like they know us on a personal level, and like they'll talk about my games too. And I think the fact that a lot of us are athletes, like the teachers are very aware of that and supportive and know how to work with you. And even like I work at a sports bar out here, and the town, like a lot of people like I would not have met or talked to, like they all like come to my games, and they're not even really a part of the school. And I don't know, I think just being a part of that community, like it makes me feel more valued, like, and important and connected to people than I had felt at my last school.
Let's talk basketball, though.
Yeah.
And how the transition's gone on that front. You had experience. Again, you started out at Western Nebraska before making the move here to Cloud County. And I'll ask you about playing in the Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference, one of the best junior college conferences in the country, and how difficult that can be on a nightly basis. But I guess I don't think people fully appreciate the schedule that you all have to put in. That starts from when you arrive on campus and preseason workouts to practices officially beginning on October 1st. And here we're talking about March coming up this next week. And so it's been a long-term, commitment that you guys have to make in between all of your studies and everything else you have going on in your life. I know you love the game, but how challenging can that be, Kiley, that, again, it is such a commitment. It becomes a job in and of itself, right?
Yes. It is very challenging. I feel like there's some days where it's just really hard to, kind of keep yourself motivated, and because it is just a long season. But honestly, the fact that I've already kind of been through it before, and we're already nearing the end, and I don't know, honestly, my teammates, they really keep me motivated to come every day, and same with coaches and everyone. I don't know, I think I value playing for this team a lot, and it's challenging, but it's worth it. It's really worth it.
Is it more physically taxing, or is it more the mental, the emotional side, the thoughts that you can't shake, that sort of thing that's the most challenging?
I will say it's definitely a mixture of both. For me, it's been a lot more, I feel physically, just because I have a lot of knee problems. When I play basketball, I basically say before every game, I'm about to sacrifice my entire body this whole game and just play as hard as I can. And of course there's consequences to that, but I think with treatment, it's okay. But it is really physically taxing, but mentally it is hard. I mean, you really think about it, you're kind of, I feel not in the middle of nowhere, but in a sense just in the middle of nowhere, having to play this sport every single day and show up and be mentally and ready and locked in every day. And it is hard, but I don't know, again, it's worth it. I'd say it's still worth it. I don't know.
There's rewards to it.
Yes. Yeah, especially just the moments, winning games. We've had so many good moments throughout the year that it has been so worth it. Seeing everyone succeed, seeing people come out of their shell, and I don't know, it is really rewarding. The time and effort we put in every day, it shows on the court.
Dee, how are you doing? 5 months later, after the first official practice begins, from a physical, mental standpoint, as far as the season's concerned?
Mentally, in the beginning, I feel like it was the most challenging part. There's a lot of up and downs for me. Especially it was my first time back after not playing for a year. So it was just, it was a mental battle, felt like every day. But now, as we're, of course, closing, getting to the end of our season, it's became physical. I'm more physically exhausted than anything. But we still push every day. Like Kiley said, our teammates, they're definitely key to us being motivated and still showing up every day and putting in the effort.
Is the competition harder than you thought it was going to be?
I'd say no, but I don't want to sound like cocky or ignorant in a sense. But the only reason I say no is because I felt like being from Texas, I played high-level basketball. So I've seen better competition, but this is still one of the hardest conferences there is. And every day we still got to go out there and bang with everybody.
Kiley, what about for you playing in this kind of conference against the teams that you see each night? What's that like as a player, really knowing that hey, this isn't a night we can take off. Anybody's capable of beating anybody.
Yeah, it is really, again, it's like you just got to prepare for each game. Like, in my head, I'm just, if I go out with 100% effort and I go hard, like, because I feel like I'm more of like, I'm like off the bench energy player. I come in and I got to bring the energy, and it's not an easy task to have, but I know if I do my part, I can help my teammates to succeed in their part. And the competition, I would say it is hard because we have lost some players that like I would say it's more challenging like now to kind of like, I guess, like balance and combat some of these teams. They definitely like beatable in a sense. It is like every night it is kind of like up in the air, like who's going to get this one, because all the games have either been close or like they've beaten us by like a little bit, and like I don't know, it's been hard, it's challenging, and I know like this is like a tough conference, but I don't know, you just got to have, I guess, like a strong mindset every time you go in the game.
And the team's gone through its issues, as all teams do.
Yeah.
It's changed and evolved throughout the course of the season, but I feel like your games have also had to do the same. And so, D, I feel like early on, it seemed to me like you really prided yourself on the defensive side, and you were a distributor. You liked getting everybody involved, seeing them have success offensively, where now you're handling the ball a lot more than you were at the start of the season. You're scoring the ball a lot more than you were at the start of the season. Your games had to adjust as the season's gone along. Just for you, how do you feel like you at this stage have played and are playing?
I feel like as if from the start of the season to now, I had to really mentally prepare myself, and it took maybe losing some people and to really have that confidence to be able to step up. So really it was a confidence thing, and I was able to step up and contribute more on the offensive side.
Is there an aspect of the game that you most pride yourself on?
I really love defense. It's my favorite part of the game. I try to get my hand on whatever I can, but sometimes I'm a bit smaller, so I can't get my hand on everything, but I'm still able to defer a player in a sense.
And Kiley, kind of similarly, I know your season's kind of been up and down at times. Started out the year starting, then you became, one of those role players off the bench. You're getting a lot more time here of late. Similar to D, I felt like, again, you're one that seems to pride yourself on the defensive side and then being able to create opportunities for your teammates. But you're coming off, a double-digit scoring performance against Coffeyville here recently, so your offensive game's picked up as well. Kind of take me through your season and how do you feel like you're playing at this stage?
So in the beginning, I feel like I had a lot more confidence, and then after those 2 games, I did hurt my head, and I came to practice feeling really out of it, and that kind of set me back a little bit confidence wise as well, and I don't know, and I just kind of I feel like I kind of shut down a little bit. I mean, I was still pretty strong defensively throughout, I feel like, this whole season, but offensively it has been hard because it's really kind of just a confidence thing, and I feel like I kind of let my thoughts get the best of me. And as the season has progressed, I would say first semester was a lot more challenging because it was hard to kind of get my time to kind of show what I can do and kind of bounce back from that. And I will say it is challenging losing players as well, but I also feel like it's an opportunity. It was an opportunity for me to show what I'm capable of and how I can contribute to the team. And I feel like it's honestly made us all kind of stronger and know each other well. And I feel like at this point, now I know what I need to do every game, defensively to put my team in the best position. And I still feel like I'm more of in a facilitator role. I'll step it up when like I feel like needed to. But again, scoring isn't really I wouldn't say strong suit, but it's not what I want, or what I'm really focused on. Like, I'm focused on winning. And if people are in better positions and have better statistics when it comes to scoring, I'd rather get them in a position for the ball so we can win and not just kind of focus on myself.
You both have spoken a lot about the team and wanting to see team success, even if it comes at maybe not having as much personal success yourself compared to others. I feel like as I've watched you guys throughout the course of the season, and especially over these last couple of weeks, I feel like everybody has grown more confident, not just in themselves, but in what everybody else can do on the floor. Kiley, do you feel like you guys are maybe at this time maybe more cohesive right now as a team, like you're more in sync with one another?
Honestly, yeah. I feel like it helps too that no one on our team is really I would say negative. Like everyone's pretty we've been positive about every struggle we faced, and we've turned everything positive. And I think by doing so, instead of focusing on the bad, focusing on who's left, and we have remained strong and mentally strong. And I think that has helped us get to know each other better and gel better, because I feel like through adversity comes strength. And like they say that a lot, and I feel like we have become stronger as it's gone by.
And D, I know you guys feel a ton of pressure each time that you step on the floor. Again, it's a tough conference, tough matchups every single night. You play for a tough coach. I think there's no secret that Coach Brett Erkenbrag, he's a tough guy to play for, but he's a great coach, and he wants to see the best for all of you. So kind of talk about handling that pressure right now, and then having that supportive team around you that's going through everything together, at the same time, that you guys can all relate to each other, and that you're all there for each other.
I think having teammates that are really there for you every single game and every single practice, we all show up and always give 110%. I think that makes the biggest impact on our games. We're more cohesive now as a team, but I also feel like our coach does play a big part in that. Always having us in practice, and we're always having time together, so there's never dull moments in practice. It's always a team effort. And I think handling the pressure, I think we've honestly done great for ourselves. No matter the circumstances, we've continued to show up every day, and always, even when game times come, we always get putting our all onto the floor. And I think that's really what has built our confidence around each other as well. Having this certain amount of people, but always being able to trust our bench and trust who's coming in, it makes the biggest difference there is, because even when you play certain teams, we're going to know who's coming off the bench and what they're doing. But when it comes to our team, we have 8 people that can play, starters or not. He can switch up any group, and we'll still be perfectly fine.
Kiley alluded to it earlier, D, but that, there's been a lot of success, some highs, certainly some lows, I'm sure, throughout the course of the season, some games that you wish you could get back. We're coming towards the end of the year, though. What's kind of your thoughts as we make this final push? What is the goals for you and this team over this next couple of weeks?
Truly, we're taking it game by game. We did actually have a sit down as a team where we did list our individual goals and our team goals, and it was really great to hear that we kind of all had the same goal, to really just finish out the year strong and take it game by game. Because if you're thinking too far ahead, it's going to get us out of our out of our own mindset. So we take it game by game to keep us pushing.
Kiley, if I ask you the same question, you're going to tell me the same thing?
Yeah, honestly, like, I think the goal is, like, we know what we're capable of. We know it is game by game, like Dee said, but there's never, like, an ounce of, like, doubt that we can't win each game. Like, we know we can win. It's going to be a battle every game. Like, it already is, but I think for sure, like, we're going to be in playoffs. So when it comes to that time, like, I think really just knowing the other team and, you know, just focusing on the present and doing everything we can each game. But I really think that, like, we can make it far. Like, our goals are to give 100% effort and energy and support each other each game. And I think, like, honestly, we can make it to, like, the regional championship. Like, I think, even go farther. It's just what we do and how we prepare to get there that, like, matters.
I mentioned the next home game. The last home game is going to be sophomore day.
Yeah.
You'll be honored and recognized at sophomore day along with your sophomore teammates, Tiana Davis and Maylin Go. Has it at all hit you emotionally? And I can ask this of Dee as well, but that you're not guaranteed very many games together anymore, you know, this team in its current form.
Honestly, not yet. Usually I don't process things till later, so it probably won't hit me for a little while, honestly. But, yeah, it's crazy. Like, we've spent so much time together, and it's going to suddenly just kind of stop. Like, of course, we're still going to go to the same college for the next couple months, but after that, we're all kind of on our own journeys, and it is sad. It is really sad, but it's good that, you know, we've made it this far, and there's other things after to kind of look forward to as well.
Are you glad you've had this year here and to be with this team?
Honestly, yes. I feel like even being coached by, like, or being in different environments and being coached by a different coach and meeting new people and being in a different state as well, I honestly love being in new places and new environments because I love to take it all in and adapt and see, you know, how people, like, react with one another. And yeah, I'm really glad I went here. I learned a lot. I really have, and I feel like I know more so what I want to do in my future and in my life than I would have, you know, a year ago.
Dee, for you, are you glad you're a part of this team?
Oh, absolutely. It's been they really made the first year of college great for me, and I think being part of the basketball program was one of the best decisions I made. I think it's a great group of women, and we all just come out and always put in our effort.
I appreciate the two of you taking time to sit down with me this week to talk about your time here at Cloud County, and your time's not done. Hopefully there's more basketball to come, but want to wish you both all the best. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Are you a Kansas or Nebraska high school senior who's thinking about your next steps after high school? If so, you qualify for Cloud County Community College's $500 Early Bird Scholarship. All you have to do is visit campus before December 13th and have a GPA of 3.0 or higher, and you get a $500 scholarship guaranteed. So come visit Cloud and see why our students are Cloud proud. On your visit, you'll see our campus, meet with an academic advisor, and get a chance to have all your questions answered. Set up your campus visit today by giving us a call at 800-729-5101 extension 212 or visiting us online at cloud.edu/admissions.
My thanks to Kiley Smich and DaNae Crosby for joining us this week on T-Bird Talk. The Cloud County Community College women's basketball team will play host to Butler Community College for sophomore day this Saturday, March 1st at 2 p.m. The women's basketball team will honor 3 sophomore players: Smich, Tiana Davis, and Maylin Go. The Cloud County Community College men's basketball team will be honoring 4 members of their team this Saturday when they will recognize sophomores Roy Aviv and Falou Kwate, as well as redshirt freshmen Matthew Garber and Keon Garrett Miller. The Cloud County Community College men's basketball team is coming off their fourth straight loss as they fell 83-58 in Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference play to Kiley College Wednesday night. Kiley, ranked number 6 in the country, sprinted out to a 19-0 lead over the first 5 minutes and 40 seconds, and the T-Birds never recovered. Kiley placed 4 players in double figures while shooting 55.8% from the field and 48.3% from three-point range with 14 made three-pointers. Cloud County shot 24 of 76 from the field and just 1 of 24 from long distance. Freshman forward Elijah Savant was Cloud County's only double-figure scorer, finishing with 21 points to go along with 4 rebounds and 4 steals. Freshman guards Sincere Burnett and Amari Johnson scored 9 points each. Sophomore Roy Aviv scored 7 points. Falou Kwate, Dewan Grace, and Vuk Zarabika all came off the bench to score 4 points each. Redshirt freshman Matthew Garber tallied a team-high 10 rebounds. Trailing 47-19 at the break, Cloud County forced Kiley into 14 turnovers with 9 steals on their way to outscoring the Tigers by 3 points in the second half. The T-Birds look to bounce back this Saturday when they host Butler Community College for Sophomore Day. Tip-off is scheduled for 4 p.m. inside Arlie Bryant Gymnasium in Concordia. Due to winter weather in the north central Kansas area and cancellation and postponement of both classes as well as athletic activities at Cloud County Community College, there was no T-Bird Talk last week. And so this week, we are going to bring a special bonus edition of the show to you on Friday. Typically, new episodes drop each Thursday. But again, a special new bonus episode will drop tomorrow. So make sure that you subscribe to T-Bird Talk on all of your favorite podcast platforms. It's a great way to stay up to date on all that is happening athletically at Cloud County Community College in Concordia. And then next Thursday, another edition of T-Bird Talk will drop as we'll be talking to 2 of the 4 wrestlers at Cloud County Community College to have qualified for this year's NJCAA National Wrestling Championships. We will be joined by Jaden Berry and Micah Cothers. T-Bird Talk is a production of the Cloud County Community College Athletic Department.